Hi everyone, welcome to yet another Vuvu Vena Reads vlog. So today I am reading The Gold Diggers by Sue Nyathi. So it's Friday the 16th of October. I did want to start this in the morning, however time was not on my side. I thought I was gonna finish work early so that I could start early, and that didn't happen either. So it's after work on a Friday. I'm probably gonna get a few pages in just before I go to sleep, and I don't want to waste any more time. And as I did with the polygamist, I'm gonna do a similar vlog reaction time-lapse thing with you guys with this book as well. Hopefully it won't take more than this weekend, and I'm gonna set up now and get down to it immediately. You guys might obviously hear noise coming from the pool. The pool, I think, has been reopened, or people are trespassing, one of the two, but there are people in the pool, and the pool is just next to my window. So just a disclaimer that you will hear that. Other than that, let's get right into it. I need to close this. I love, one thing that I will say for sure is that I love how Sue Nyathi's plots or pace doesn't take too long to unravel. I might not, obviously I definitely don't know the gist of the story yet because I'm only on page 5, but I like that she's already created a conflict situation. I am getting an urge to start researching for myself and seeing what other books I can grab around the what is it, the genocide that happened in Zimbabwe, the Gukurahundi genocide. She calls it a massacre. It also featured in House of Stone by Novuyo Chuma, and it's, for me, it's reminiscent of the way that the Zimbabwean authors talk about it. It's also reminiscent of how the Nigerian authors point to the Biafran War in most of their books, and I really do think that something that is pointed at so often needs a little bit more attention from me. If it comes up so often in the books that I read. I've just finished reading The Shadow King by Maza Mangesti, and I think that I am curious about that war between Ethiopia and Italy, and especially the woman's role in that, because that's what she highlights in there. But what I'm trying to say is that some of these books talk to real life situations, and I think already I'm getting the sense of the ethnicity that's gonna come out of this, and the tension between the two prominent ethnic groups in Zimbabwe, the Shonas and the Ndebeles. And the character that we've come across, Melusi, is the first character that she introduces on here, happens to be Ndebele, and he recalls, he is Ndebele, yeah? Yes, he is Ndebele, and he recalls how the Gukurahundi massacre affected his people and his family and his community, and therefore has an inclination to dislike the Shona people. He happens to be a taxi driver, and in this particular scene there are two Shona passengers who are speaking in Shona, and it's almost as though the pain and the rage and the anger just seeps out of him when he hears them speaking in their language. And I think I can understand that, because that's a trauma reaction, and a reaction of frustration, and a reaction of a very deep-seated pain. And yeah, I'm just saying, it's so interesting. I'm only on page 5, and Sue has already done a lot in a page 5, and I know that this book has shattered so many people. It has like broken so many people, yet everybody is saying it's fire. So I'm thinking to myself, yes, I'm sipping on wine because I've had a long week. I'm gonna sip on wine, probably 2 glasses of wine. After that, I think I'm gonna get myself some coffee and see if I can get to halfway of the book tonight, and I'm hoping to finish it tomorrow because I've still got other books I need to digest this weekend. Anyway, this book is 279 pages long, so if I can get to like 140 pages tonight, I will be fine. I'll be happy. So let me not ramble any further. Chapter 21 is 139 pages, so even if I get to that, I'll be happy. But yeah, I thought I'd say off the bat that a lot is being set up, and it's being set up very well from the start. You know, I don't think that I just finished chapter 5, guys. I think this book is gonna have a lot of sorry. I think this vlog is gonna have a lot of commentary. I just finished chapter 5, and perhaps if it gets to that, I'll just cut it into two parts. But we never really, not that we never really, because I do interact with people that have to that come from neighboring countries into South Africa, but I think that in general it's something that's never talked about, what they go through. And if you've read the book, I'm at the chapter where they've just crossed the river at Bait Bridge. I forget the name of the river, and one of the passengers has been has experienced a fatal accident, and it's so traumatic. Like, I can't imagine how those people then move on to still seek for something better after they've experienced that. It's really, yeah, it sounds very traumatic. Very traumatic. Yes? Okay, I'm coming. Why are you crying? I'm coming, but why are you crying? Huh? The dinosaur is going to bite you. Say hi.
Hi.
Why are you in my room?
Don't know.
You don't know? Is it not the dinosaur?
It is the dinosaur.
What's the dinosaur doing?
It's singing.
It's singing? So why are you running away from the singing?
Dinosaur, it's biting humans.
It's biting humans. The dinosaur is biting humans. But you said it's singing.
It was singing.
It was singing.
Well, it was singing and biting humans.
At the same time? Wow.
I thought how really scary.
That was really scary.
But how really funny too.
That was really funny too? Scary and funny?
We said no.
Eh?
And we said no at that dinosaur name.
You don't know the dinosaur's name?
Her name is Parasaurolophus.
Parasaurolophus. Like that? Are you sure I said the right thing? Okay.
He's really funny.
He's really funny?
He actually called a dinosaur.
It's called a dinosaur.
And he said, "Wah."
And what?
She said, "Wah."
What's that?
It'll be making a noise.
It's making a noise.
He said, "Whoa."
Oh, a roar. Okay. And is your brother watching the dinosaur? Your brother not scared?
Yes, he's not dead. Only dead.
Only you scared?
And he says, "Oh no."
You don't know what?
I hate doing. And he really funny.
Who's that? Who's really funny?
A dancer. Maybe the one that powers a lot of face.
A parasaurolophus. Like that? Ah, yeah. Is that what you were saying? You just say it like that. Is Mama not saying it wrong?
It said it right.
I said it right? Okay. Are you happy?
Let me have the button.
Don't press buttons, Ian. Okay. What's your name?
Yana.
How old are you?
D.
What's your brother's name?
Nene.
How old is Nene?
4.
Not anymore. How old
Ha.
is Nana? Yay, good job. Where's Nana?
Is she now? Oh, she's about TV.
Where is he now? What's he doing?
Oh, this is number 3.
That's number 3 years. But I'm asking what Nuna is doing.
He watching TV and he watching dinosaurs.
He's watching dinosaurs.
They are watching dinosaurs. And that's so scary.
They're too scary. So what are you gonna watch?
Minnie.
You want to watch Minnie? Oh, you're wearing Minnie. I wanna show you Minnie. Let me see. Minnie. Let me see your Minnie. Let me see your Minnie. Yana. Hands up in the air like you just don't care. Hey. What are you laughing about? I wanted to see your Minnie. I'm not tickling you. I want to see your Minnie. Ooh, Minnie. Ooh, Minnie. Ooh, Minnie. Okay.
Mommy.
You see my brush is flashing. Can you see? Okay, we're gonna have to switch the camera off and charge the battery. You gonna press it? Not that side. Got Portia. It's too early for this in the morning. Like, what? Portia. Hey. You know, you don't want scandals of infidelity in a village. These two are playing, yeah. I'm saying, but it also begs the question of these migrant, in inverted commas, laborers who used to leave their wives in villages for the whole year to come back once or twice a year. What exactly did they think was going on there? I'm just wondering if they thought that the wives would be homemakers and stay at home just raising the kids, or if, like they were doing in the towns, having affairs, etc., they expected that the wives would be doing the same. I just wonder, I really wonder if that never crossed their minds when they didn't go back home. And I understand there's a lot of theories, obviously, that they weren't paid enough to go home as often, etc., etc. But in this instance, this character that I'm talking about, Portia, she asked the man if she could move with him to Johannesburg, and this man kept telling her year and year again that Joburg is no place for a woman. I don't know what that means. I'm already getting a sense that this book is going to have a lot of commentary on how women's bodies are used and how women use their bodies. I'm saying that because I'm thinking of the rape scene, and then now this character Portia, who's married to Vusani, lives in what seems to be a village in Zimbabwe. Her husband works in Johannesburg, like I mentioned, and only comes home for 5 days a year at the end of the year. She's having an affair with one of the herdsmen in that village called Tabani, and has tricked him into believing that she is pregnant with his child so that he can keep giving her money. So I think she wants to go to Johannesburg as well, so that she can escape and move to Johannesburg. this Tabani person also knows that this person is married, but is hoping that she will bear him children nonetheless, and is excited with this the prospect of her carrying his child. So he keeps finding money to give to her. And now let me see. Oh, and she lives with a what seems to be a very mean mother-in-law. So this line says, in her hands she had 2 crisp 100-rand notes. She had no idea where Tabani got money from, but every now and then he would surprise her. She already had 1,000 rand stashed in a corner in the roof where no one could find it. Her heart beat fast because finally she had enough money to secure her freedom. And I think my other shock is that this affair is so blatant. They just had sex at the riverbank. The riverbank in a village. I don't know, or maybe I don't know. You know, when the book started and they named the girlfriend to the taxi driver, her name is Lindani, and I don't know if you guys, I'll link obviously my vlog to the polygamist, but it did dawn on me that would Sue use the same name that she had used in the previous book just, or does she really like this name, or is it the same character? I love the fact that I'm discovering that it is the same character, and I'd love to see how her story proceeds from there. If you remember, she was the younger last wife to Jonasi in The Polygamist, and I knew it was her when there's a line here that says, the pictures of men who had left a grubby imprint on her nubile body flashed through her head. Rhino, Tito, Farai, Jonasi. We knew these 3, the rest I didn't know. Edgar, Namo, Pagama, and Alian. Some she had even forgotten. So when they described her again, as well as naming these men, then I knew it was her. Then she does give a little bit of a backstory. Obviously, she's giving a backstory to all of these passengers, and her backstory is exactly the same as the character in The Polygamist. And you know what? I do think that works of art have some form of continuity. So I like the fact that this is not a sequel to The Polygamist, but she has kept some elements of that similar story. Well, so some elements of that story in here. And she's done it very, very, very well. Like, you don't have to have read The Polygamist to appreciate Lindani's character, because she explains her perfectly. But I love that she took a character from one book and placed her in another book, and it fits. Oh my gosh, this is so sad. I'm gonna try and hold off the waterworks while reading this book. So we're getting a little bit more insight than we did in The Polygamist about Lindani. And you know what, I really wish, I know that parents of millennials, I think in any African setting, really worked hard to make sure that their children got some kind of opportunity to become something, right? But I don't even think that they comprehend the odds that are against young people, and how hard it is to come by this dream of a life that they had for their children, and the same dream that their children have for themselves. It's not like you wake up and make it. You still have so many other obstacles that are a result of a historical past, obviously political past. But that said, so when she got so desperate that she went back to prostitution, and after a night where she slept with 6 men in the same night, she decided that it was time to go home. And I feel like, as a mother, children should always be able to come home. Even if you guys eat beans the whole month to live on, children should always be welcome to come home, especially in the society that we live in. Children should always know, even if I'm gonna sleep on the floor with a torn blanket, I can always go back home. I think knowing that in your heart makes it so that these kind of survival tactics don't happen. Even if you know that you and your parents will live off of water with sugar and, like I'm saying, beans or canned food for the rest of the month or the rest of the year, your child should know that they can always come back home. So this interaction is what's hurting me between the mother and this child that obviously we've seen being so desperate to make it on her own, that she has caused herself so much damage. Anyway, she's telling her mom now that she wants to come home. The mother says, "What are you going to do here?" "I don't know yet. You know I can't look after you," screamed her mother. "All my life, Lindani, I've been taking care of you. When will it stop? When will you take care of me?" That's not a child's job. And I know this sentiment is something that I've heard so many people talk about, but that's not the job of a child. A child is never meant to feel the pressure of taking care of their parent. I don't think that's the role of a child. And this is not me saying that children can't pay it forward when they're able to, that children can't lavish their parents with gifts when they're able to, but it is not an expectation that should be put on a child that they should take care of a parent. That's not right. Okay, so Lindani's chapter is up. If I remember correctly, also okay, from what I'm gathering, Sue's stories seem to touch a lot about they seem to touch a lot on the navigation of sex and sexuality in one's body, right? And how especially women come to awaken to their sexuality. And if I remember Lindani's story correctly, it's her mother's boyfriend who happened to have been paying for her school fees who first had her way with her. And in the scene where they are trying to, now in the Gold Diggers, where they're trying to pass to Johannesburg, there's another insinuated sexual violation on a young girl's body. And I'm wondering if this is a commentary on that specific society, because I feel like these characters that she highlights, especially the females, as having either been violated, all of them, actually not either, all of them being violated, are so young. It's not, and I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about violation being acceptable in any form, but what I'm trying to get at is that it's never grown women who have already, say, lost their virginity and know something about sex that are violated. Perhaps maybe the teenager in the cross past the Limpopo River, maybe she was more aware, but yeah, it's just something that's just playing in my mind, and I'm wondering what the commentary there is, because obviously we know about violations from men that we know, men that we don't know, and how that creates a sense of dreaded feeling of never being safe around men. And perhaps that's the commentary. I don't know, I'm still thinking about it. So I am almost halfway through. I'm on page 108. That's chapter 17. Where's my book? Oh, I am taking a break. Gonna go see if I can chill with my kids, because I'm not fine. I'm get alright. I'm not okay. I'm really not okay. I don't understand the level of scum that is the main in this book. Sis. And you know the scary thing, guys, I think I've been saying this over and over and over again as I am reading through this book, is that people like this are in our society. I am so disgusted. I am, you know, no, that's not gonna happen again. Like, So just to catch you up, my battery died. I charged it, so while it was charging, I went to the shops. I came back and I read a little bit more. It's now 4:45 and I am on page 108 halfway would be page 140. Where I am, the two significant occurrences is little Guguleta being sold into child prostitution, and Give More, who he's basically Satan's toenail. He is Satan's armpits. He is forcing himself on Lindani, and Lindani's just had such a difficult life. She just deserves to catch a break. She really does. Oh, the third significant thing that I don't think I mentioned is how Vugani, Portia's husband, has chucked them out of Johannesburg. After abusing her, he told her that there was no reason. There was never a reason for you to be here. You are leaving tomorrow. I'm putting you in a taxi back to palm trees, I want to say, or Palmville. I could be wrong, but back to the village. And obviously she defies that. I don't think that any woman who fights as hard as she did and schemes as much as she did to be able to leave a place would ever go back to a place that easily. So she's defied that. I don't know how she's gonna make her life in Joburg with her son, but with everything that's going on in this book, I'm almost scared to find out. Guguleto's mom, after snatching her out of the grips of a loving grandmother, did not pitch up to claim her child. And Melusi and Give More, I have no words. Initially, I actually felt some empathy for Melusi, but because of his part in selling a child, guys, for 10,000 rand, no, man. And you know, with these kind of things, it's so fascinating to see the woman's role, because even so, she sold to a Chinese, I won't call him a human trafficker, because it seems to me that he's running some prostitution business in Hillbrow, but he's Chinese, and it seems like there was, I want to say it's the wife, but it's probably not, but there's another Chinese person in the room when this transaction is happening, and the person is female, and that person is told to check if this child is a virgin or not, to determine how much money will be paid for her. He wanted to pay 1,000 rand for a life. That guy is like, and like I'm saying, I'm just halfway through, and I don't know if I'm gonna survive. Let me take a break. Let me take a break. By the way, I did I did update my moment on IG stories. I tagged Sue and Pan because this is their fault. By the way, this copy of this book was sent to me by Pan Macmillan, South Africa. I realized I didn't say it at the beginning. It was sent to me by Pen earlier this year for review purposes, and I showed it to you guys when I got it. I'd wanted to read The Polygamist first before reading The Gold Diggers, and so I'm updating on IGTV, and I tagged Pan and Sue. Sue is literally laughing at me. She's laughing at me. Your fave is laughing at me, guys. So she's agreeing. Sorry, I was just seeing a message from her. She's agreeing that I should take a break. I told her that I am gonna lose my composure, and like, you know when you feel your tears are here. So you guys have seen me cry once already. I don't know if I want to show you that again. So I just need to, otherwise, all in all, I ain't equal at all, actually, at all. Check you in about 30 minutes or so. All right, so the time now is, I don't know what, because my phone's charging. I left it in the charger. I haven't read since I last checked in, and I don't think I'm gonna read anymore today because I'm still really traumatized. I really hope that we don't get to see Gogo later again in the story. I really don't think that I want to see her in that setting. I don't know, anything could happen. So I think I'm gonna call it a day with that book today, because I just need to cleanse my spirit. Angiko, right? So I've been watching Glee. I decided to get something light and fluffy to laugh at and whatever. It's dinner time now. I'm gonna have dinner with the kids, and then I'm probably gonna pick up Zandile the Resolute, because Diagoa, guys, Diagoa. But I had hoped to at least be halfway through, because I really don't want to drag this too far into the new week. But we'll see how tomorrow pans out, because it's another full reading day. I don't really have any plans for tomorrow, so I have all of tomorrow to work out how far I get with this. If I finish, it will be great. If I don't and I get another stumbling block, that's also fine. I will deal with it, but I don't think that it would be okay for me right now to, I don't know what's going on outside. I don't think it would be okay for me right now to to push through. It's okay. I might not even read Zandile for that matter. I might continue watching Glee. I just, like I'm saying, just want something that's gonna make me laugh a little bit before I come back to this gruesomeness that is the Gold Diggers. Kubi, guys, bad. Yeah. Okay, the sexual abuse in this book is too much. Like, it's a lot to take in. There are no gaps of relief. It's just one thing after the other, as well as the injustice against black people just for surviving and living is just a lot. And all these people just need to catch a break. Look, I've just finished the scene with Chennai in her new job, and I've once heard somewhere before that apparently victims of abuse are likely to be abused again. There were a lot of theories obviously doing the rounds as to why that's the case, but this poor girl, it's not even funny actually. And this idea, I know people don't talk about these things a lot, but you do hear them though, of men. I know in this scene it's a white family, so it's a white male, but apparently it happens in black households as well, where the male takes advantage of the nanny or the helper. And I often wonder, where else can these women run? Like, Chennai is lucky because her mom's around, but she also still needed the job, right? But if her mom wasn't there, what are the chances that she would have left? Yes, she got fired and she went through her breakdown, but what I'm trying to say is that she probably would have contained herself, stayed in a situation like that for longer than she needed to, compromised her dignity and herself, knowing that she was in an abusive situation that she couldn't speak out about, or because she just needed to live. It's, yeah, well, I like Portia. Portia is very, very resourceful, and the new turn that her life has taken, I'm really hoping that she doesn't get caught. I really am rooting for her and hoping that this works out. And you know, the weird thing about fiction, I think, once you have tethered yourself to a character, it makes that is immoral in any form, it questions your morality as well. But honestly, I'm on her team. She must win at this life thing. Like, if this is the story that Sue is gonna tell us of one person actually winning in the story, then I'm here for it. We need one person to win. We really do. We do.
Hello everyone.
What's your name?
My name is Makanya.
Are you going to watch TV, Bukani?
Yes.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Whoa, it's bigger. I just go closer to it when I make a big square. Mommy, I want to say I love you.
Okay, say here. You, wow. Okay, come stand here.
Anyway, you.
Okay.
What can I say?
I don't know what you want to say.
I want to say hello to the camera.
Okay.
Hello, camera. Whoa, the squid doing that. Mommy, the squid knows what I do.
Yeah, it's moving.
Why is it doing that?
It's tracking you.
Tracking me? What?
Of your movement.
Oh, I know that.
You know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go now?
Yes, bye.
Bye.
Thank you, boy.
You're welcome.
No, guys. Guys, is Dumisani dead? What just happened? No, I'm ready. I'm ready for this book. It's fine. It's fine. I'm ready for this book. Today I spoke to myself. The only thing that I know for sure is that I'm not taking this book into tomorrow. So it must finish today. But the hell just happened? Haribo, Usu. Like, why is Sue doing this, guys? Now, the thing that just happened to Dumisani has stolen me of my reaction to what Malumu Jackson's wife just did. This thing is just a mess. It's a flippin' mess of a book. Like, the hell And there I was thinking to myself, okay, at least, because my favorite characters so far were Dumisani and Chamu, so I'm like, at least Chamu and Dumisani are decent young men, and they're gonna probably come out of this flourishing. They have their heads screwed on right, luck is gonna find them, their lives are... Next thing is Dumisani dead, guys. However, okay, while I react to that in my head and move on to the next section, this book is divided into a few parts. I don't know how many to be exact. I want to say it's 4, but I'm just double checking quickly. Yes, it's 4 parts. So I am halfway now, exactly halfway. I'm about to start part 3. So I wanted to say, I commend Sue for bringing out the other side of sexual abuse in a story that talks about the predominantly spoken part of sexual abuse, in that we always think sexual abuse happens when men violate women, but so many other men have been, and young boys have been, violated by women as well. And in that little scene that she made in Malume Jackson's flat between Dumisani and Malume's wife, I think that she managed to highlight that, and highlighted so very well. Never mind, fine, there's a bit of body shaming happening there, but I think it's important for us to understand how Dumisani couldn't fight off this woman. And also it also talks to the fact that we think sexual abuse is only sexual abuse if penetration occurs, and in that instant nothing of that nature happened. And also Malume's reaction goes back to what I'm trying to say, in that for some reason, even though this is happening in society, we can't fathom how a woman can sexually assault a man. But like I'm saying, she's done a good job of bringing that to the fore in that scene. But fine, like I'm saying, I can't react to that because what just happened to Dumisani? No, guys, he can't be dead. Not like that. No. And this is the second character to die in the book. And no, the third character to die in the book. And Dumisani, and I think the other guy who was a passenger in the taxi was just called Malume, the one who got hauled down by crocodiles in the Limpopo River. If Dumisani is dead, then their deaths are just by the way, okay, gone. And maybe that's also a commentary on Sue's part on how how do I say this, on the gravity of these people's lives in society and how they are treated, that their death could be so brisk. I don't know how else to say it, but anyway, I'm still just hoping that Dumisani is not dead, because I don't know if I'm okay with that. And yes, guys, and yes. Okay. So I've been meaning to say that I love how she personifies the locations that come out in the story. Even from the very onset of the story, she was driving through Bulawayo, she managed to take the streets and give them life. She personifies basically every single location. Even when she talks about other parts of Africa, she gives them a certain life, so much so that in Johannesburg she even gave Johannesburg a female persona, which is something that's quite interesting, in that she's doing that, she's also sprinkling in a little bit of history in there, in terms of the history of the locations, which is very well done for a story that's not about that. So she's made it to flow into the melody of the story, which is quite excellent. I like that a lot. You know what? As I'm reading about Chamo, you know, I'm not gonna be happy if Sue kills this character. I really am not gonna be happy. I'm not. I'm probably gonna close the book. She better not. Chamo. Now these are the things that are gonna get him killed. Hey. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm not saying you can't stand up. So what he's done right now, sorry, I keep having to remember to tell you what I'm talking about. What he's done right now is that he's just broken up a fight. Not a fight. Two men were beating up a woman outside of a tavern in Alex, and he stood up for the woman, which is very commendable. Absolutely pro that. Now he wants to take this woman to a place of safety. This is a township that he's not used to at all, so he does not know the people in this township. I'm okay with him breaking up the fight and him wanting to take this woman to her home, as in her mother's house, where she can be protected. Now this woman says she's got nowhere else to go. One of the men that was beating her up is her boyfriend, and his solution is, I will take you to my home. And yes, guys, maybe the police station, something. I don't know how that's gonna end up here. Now I'm sitting, and this is what the emotion is. Actually, it's a lot of, it's not suspense, it's anxiety on behalf of these characters. Like you it's almost like now you can see, oh, Vena, you are going to your demise right now. Just like when Chichi was trying on the madam's clothes, I was like, oh, Nkosi yam lo mntana. Like, you do not need to do that. Why did you do that? It's like I'm having that moment now with Chamo. I'm like, why, Chamo? Why take her to go to the police station, ask her other leading questions, like maybe an aunt's place, like there's nowhere, a best friend, somewhere else but your place. Ozafalo, he's going to die. So while I was away, while I was away, I got ready for the day, and then I read some more because I needed to charge the phone. Wow. My glass got stuck. I needed to charge the phone, not the camera. I needed to charge the camera, so I continue to read. I am now on page 177, and just to catch you up, I take back my love for Dumisani. Guys, these men in this book are just failing left, right and center, and I'm so disappointed in Dumisani. I had so much faith in him. He's not dead, obviously. That's why I'm going on like this. I don't believe, I really just don't believe it. And the topics that are being navigated in this story are very heavy, and it also has a great emphasis on the woman's place in a marriage, not just a romantic relationship, but also a marriage. What's going on in Dumisani's marriage with Christine is something that I can't comprehend, in the sense that you went off to a different country looking for opportunity. Nothing has come up in about a year. I'm left here with kids and your parents as well, and another opportunity has arisen for me to try and make something for all of us, where you could join hands with me, but you don't want because I'm a woman and you're a man. Will our kids eat that? Gender specifications, is that what's gonna feed the kids? And yes, guys, and yes. But also his shenanigans while he was in hospital, I am thoroughly disappointed. So he's off my list. The one person that I do think that my heart goes out to is Lindani, and perhaps, like I'm saying, it's that link with the polygamist that keeps me or just that's kept a spot for her in my heart. And she's just had such a rough life. And after Given raped her, she managed to escape. But this whole thing of always being backed into a corner is something that's so sad for her. And every single time when she wants to run to something, she runs into the arms of another man. And it seems to me that every single man that she meets is worse than the last. And so is the case right now. And the scene I just finished, she is now in London with another man that she had met while she was with Melusi, who has basically sold her off as a drug mule, and her only ticket back to South Africa is if she traffics cocaine. And when she was describing her life with this man before they went to London, I want to say when I was younger, but I have to always remember that it's not like ancient. But when I was younger, you know, you used to see a lot of these young girls, great bodies, long weaves, stunning, in these VIP sections of these clubs. And what this reminded me of is that sometimes you really don't know if those people are happy. Like, happiness is not something that's written on your face. You get what I'm trying to say? Yes, you can laugh, you can whatever, but genuine happiness is not something that you can pinpoint on a person just watching them across the room. And she's describing similar settings where she was always in VIP sections of a club. She was living at large in the Michelangelo. Life was great, but it wasn't. And it's so sad that no one could have rescued her from that, because she was also playing along with this facade of life not being great. And she's come to accept that if it means that she can eat and have a place to sleep and live, then basically she allows men to have their way with her. That's not a life. That's not a life. You could even, it's tantamount to prostitution. It's prostitution to survive. Yeah. You know, the book won't read itself, so let me continue. I don't know what to say anymore. Like, I don't know. And the thing is, Sue plants these things in your head of every time that she doesn't mention that something happened, you are stuck thinking that something might have happened. And this is how I'm feeling now. Chichi's just had her photo shoot in Cape Town, and fine, I know a lot of people who go to bed naked, but the thing is, she just had her first alcoholic beverage the night before, and she had, by the sound of things, one too many for somebody who never drank. And the next thing she remembers is waking up in her hotel bed naked. I don't think that this child can take any more violation. Honestly, I think I don't know. It's not, yeah, I don't know. I thought Lindani was gonna die, so that is a sigh of relief. At least she's alive. But I don't know why she's still with this man. Like, you almost died because of this man. Like, honestly, swallowing pellets of cocaine so that you could get out of a situation. I don't understand. You know, Sue doesn't say that Kayin, I think that's how you say his name, is Nigerian, but she gives him a lot of Nigerian attributes. And I wonder if that was to call out the reader for associating him with Nigerians, but that's neither here nor there. His cruelty has nothing to do with his nationality. I don't believe this. I don't believe this. To transport drugs on the corpse of a baby says you are no longer a living human being. You are a zombie. You are dead. You are dead. No wonder Lindani shed her pants. I mean, honestly. Yo. I don't trust this Antonio guy. I knew it. I said I don't trust Antonio. Now he's offering drugs. Hi, tonight. I can't. I guess it wouldn't be a soup book if I didn't get to that point in reading. Aibo. No, Dumisani is going places with this mess. This one must just go home. Chennai must just go home. What do they call it? Stockholm syndrome. Is it called Stockholm syndrome? Where you find yourself falling in love with somebody who has rescued you. Let me just look it up. Perhaps this is not the right term that I'm using for what I think is going on with Chennai, but it might be. Let me see. Stockholm syndrome. Feelings of trust or affection felt in many cases of kidnapping or hostage taking by a victim towards a captor. Fine, this is not a physical kidnapping or hostage taking, but there has been some kind of seduction, I feel, that Antonio has been playing out in this relationship with Chennai since before he asked her to go to his studio. And you can feel and sense and even hear from her how she feels like she owes him something. Like, yeah, I think that you could loosely use the phrase in the situation, because I really don't think that there's anything else to explain this but that. Chennai. I still don't trust Antonio, but I'm glad that Chi gets to experience consensual sex. Like, for her to have been deprived of that on her encounters of what sex should be is actually quite sad. So for that part, okay, I'm okay with what just happened, but I still don't trust Antonio. I don't trust Antonio. Nothing says to me that he has not tried this with all the other models that he works with. Nothing says to me that he is sincere. And I think the drug moment is also something else for me. And like I'm saying, the subtle seduction that's been happening from the start, I still haven't heard if she's actually been paid. Like her friend had asked, how much are they gonna pay you, what does the contract entail? I've heard nothing of the sort coming from this man. I don't trust him. I don't. He could also just be fulfilling some kind of fetish about sleeping with a black woman. Like I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I still think something bad is gonna happen to Chamu. Like every time I read his chapters, I'm like, oh, just let it happen already so that we can grieve and move on. I knew it. I knew it. But Sue didn't have to kill Chennai, honestly. Hi. Hi, guys, this book. Let me just see how many pages I have. I have 75 pages left. I don't even know what to say or where to start. I'm so sad. The backdrop to Chamu's death makes sense. Not that it makes sense, is how do I say this? The issue of xenophobia, I think people take it lightly, and it starts with things that are as simple as calling somebody a kwerekwer. Just like we don't want to be called the K word as black South Africans, the derogatory nature of calling someone of foreign nationality such terms is something that you cannot be okay with. You can't be okay with that. So it starts with such small things. And the sad thing with the xenophobic, well, the highlighted xenophobic violence of 2008 is that it was only targeted at the men. Not only, let me say, it was mostly targeted at the men. I'm saying only because I hardly heard stories of women I hardly heard stories of women from another African country dying in that situation or being attacked. And the slurs were, as Sue is highlighting here, that they're taking our jobs, they're taking our women and things of that nature. And of all the characters that she created in this book, I keep wanting to call him Chennai. Chamu was the most principled, the kindest, and the one who actually had his head screwed on right. I mean, I think every reader was championing whatever cause he had because of the easy affection that you could lavish on this kind of character. He really didn't need to die. I don't. Andiko right. Andiko right. Andiko right. And worst of all, die like this.
Yeah, he didn't need to die. So I decided to fix myself a drink so that I'm able to to navigate the rest of this story. Hi, Sue. So is Portia not gonna be found out as well? Like, can one of these people just live? Just one of them, just one. Sure. But I'm pretty sure that the drugs that Lindani is meddling with are the same drugs that Chichi and what's his name? Arnold, I don't know, the photographer, are using. And this advocate Hirsch, I'm pretty sure, is the same one whose wife we met, who gave Chichi a lift, who works who lives on the same street as, or does she work for them now, as Chichi's mom. So somehow their lives will, I think, are intertwining. Hi. And I don't know, I'm like towards the end and I'm still shocked at the make it quiet. I knew it. You know how careless Portia was getting? I knew she was gonna get caught. I knew she was going to get caught. I knew it. I'm on the last part of the book. Portia. Hi. And yes, guys. Don't know. Yo. Guys, my former fave, Dumisani, is giving me a headache. A headache. Okay? How on earth is he married? Christine went to London, or to the UK, to seek for better pastures for her family. She was told that if she got into the flight, she shouldn't look back. That's bye-bye to the marriage. But is that really a divorce? And he had already moved on. The thing is, the person that he married, he was already cheating with. So how is he placing all of that on her? And yes, guys, and yes, I'm over Dumisani. I thought that he was one of the decent guys, but clearly Chamwe is the only one. I'm almost finished. The time is 10 to 4. I have 12 pages left of the book, and I don't know where I left off actually before my battery died, but I wanted to catch you up on what I do remember. Chennai's life is something else, and I think that she's lived obviously a haunted life. So much has happened to her young, as in from a very young age, and her short life, that when we see her falling apart and becoming the person that she is, we are not exactly shocked, because life has just been sad, and it would take some kind of profound resistance and human spirit to be able to outlive all those horrors that she went through. Dumisani's life turned out to be so great, and if you can hear me, you can hear that I'm not really particularly phased because I don't know, for me, a person who has morals all the time and doesn't pick and choose when to be moral, if you get what I'm trying to say. And I don't know if it's forgivable, and maybe it's because we're seeing the other side of the story as well, but what's going on to Christine at the expense of or rather what has occurred in her life because of her decision to try and make things better for herself and her kids is completely unfair and can only be pinned on one person, that being Dumisani. I'm glad his life turned out well, but I think that the moral in his story, because it also ends fatally, is that sometimes you will reap what you sow, and by the time you wake up certain times it is too late. And I really don't understand why his uncle is so vengeful towards him, whereas he caught 2 people doing whatever they were doing that day. However, it seems like it's only Dumisani who must pay for what transpired. So for me, that's a bit sketchy and questionable. I'm not shocked that he made acquaintance, or rather that Give Mom made acquaintance with Malum Jackson, because 2 peas in a pod. What else did I miss? Nomonde finding herself in this situation. I don't think that she knew. I don't know, because she knows of Christine now, but I don't think that she knew of Christine when she first met what's his name, when she first met Dumisani. However, I don't know at which point she found out about her, so I won't really excuse too much, but I will say that the foundation of a thing is very, very important, and how things, what you build, certain relations, especially relationships that end up being marriage relationships, what you build on usually determines what fruit you bear. That's what I've been taught, and that's what I understand. So how her life has now turned out, yes, she's gotten a good life in terms of materialistic and getting out of the township, etc., but I don't know if it's a happy life. And I think that part of what we are seeing in this book is how we balance happiness with the need for money to survive, because you do need money to live. And you have the right to have ambition, you have the right to want better for yourself, but I think that it shouldn't come at an expense of your soul. And going back to Chi-Chi, I think that her relationship with Antonio was the seed of her destruction. He was a door opener to an opportunity for her, but he was not a great person to shepherd her into that opportunity, and seemingly he had less ghosts than her, and he knew how to manage his situation and she didn't, and that was her demise. And I'm so sad that she has now met up with Gianni. I think his name is Gianni, I always forget this guy's name, the one who led to Lindani's demise. She's now interacting with him, and we all know we don't need to get another chapter of that. We know it's not gonna end well, we just know. So by the time we get to, my heart broke for Chi-Chi, but by the time we got to how Dumisani's life ends, I really do think that my emotions are spent in this book, and I'm wondering if she did that intentionally, because with Dumisani, the way that that character developed, we met somebody that was easy to love at the beginning as a reader, to become one of those characters that we had great compassion for, and he evolved into something that was not what we had hoped for him. And now that he looks like he is more reflective and repentant of his ways, I'm not sure if I can still invest any emotion in him. And I'm wondering that with everything that's happened, sorry, I'm looking at my phone, with everything that's happened at the end, of his life if we were meant to reinstate our empathy, and the fact that all of this happened first and then his story is towards the end? Is it not to say it's okay if you're exhausted? He probably doesn't deserve that much of your emotion. I'm just wondering, because the thing is, the way an author decides to put their story together also has meaning over and above the words. So I just wondered if it was part and parcel of the intention. Anyway, like I'm saying, 10 more pages to go. 12 more pages to go. 12. And I fixed myself a drink for the finale. No cucumbers. Melusi. Is it that these people don't know when to stop, like when to give it a rest and do something that is legal? You know, I'll go back to Portia. I think Portia was very, very clever in her approach. Even when she got arrested, she had already found a way out, even before she probably also thought of it as a way out. And when she got out of jail, she made sure that this thing would not haunt her again. And she came clean about who she was. And now she's living in leafy suburbs, living the life. And that's, guys, don't know, I'm in the last chapter, but I'm saying, do we as human beings actually know when to identify? Do we know when to identify when it's time to cut our losses? Or is money one of those things that just, the more you get, the more you want? I don't know. So it better not show us Google later again. Like, I can't. I mean, who does that? He refuses to die. Aibo, I was convinced he was dead. Malumo Jackson. The story is finished. I'm just reading the acknowledgements. She wants to be dinosaurs? Sorry.
Maybe this time we'll never be like dinosaurs. They're dangerous creatures.
You say they're dangerous creatures?
Yeah.
Okay.
How something weird we time it like this, like restaurant time.
Okay, but maybe no more dinosaurs, okay? Let's give dinosaurs a break today, okay?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, give me a hug.
Mommy, can I take a picture of you downstairs?
Mama's busy. Go ask sister to give you some ice cream, okay? And then you're gonna close the door, no? Mama doesn't want to hear any more crying, guys. Play nicely. Close, Yana. Okay, let's try that again. So I'm done, and I think for me this is definitely it was a great read. I love fast reads. I already said that to you guys before, so I like that it didn't take me like a week or a month. I like that a lot, and right now off the bat I feel like this is a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. The emotional roller coaster is really something that I don't think is something that you can prepare for. You can't prepare for that, but this is a very, very, very good sophomore novel from Sue Nyathi. It really ticks all the boxes. It is exceptionally done. It brings to the fore issues in society that are timeless. Things of xenophobia are always going to be things that are topical. Migration is always going to be a topical thing. The use and abuse of female and male bodies is always going to be a topical thing. Familial relationships always going to be topical. Issues of abandonment, of violation, of crime, though, all of those elements, and how she brought them in so well with the backdrop of the places that we inhabit was very well done. I absolutely enjoyed this read. It's a 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. Well done to Sue, and I'm so glad it's done. I am so glad it is over, because then I can exhale. I mean, my god, and that's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and once again, thank you so very much for choosing me. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I love you very, very much. Bye now.